Stop working hard, work smart. My friend, let me ask you a question. Why do some people run all day, chasing time, chasing goals, chasing approval, and still feel stuck? Why do others move calmly, confidently, and still seem to achieve more in a few focused hours than most do in a week? We were told since childhood, work hard and you'll succeed. But look around you. Millions are working hard right now, from sunrise to sunset, and still struggling to make ends meet, still fighting the same battles, still exhausted. Hard work has become a badge of honor. We glorify exhaustion. We wear stress like a trophy. But the truth is, hard work alone is not the key. The world has changed. Success is no longer about who works the most, but who works the smartest. The winners of today are not the ones who grind endlessly. They are the ones who think clearly, act purposefully, and protect their energy fiercely. Because success is not built on burnout. It's built on balance. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. So if you're tired of feeling stuck, if you've been working hard but not seeing results, if you're ready to build a life of focus, freedom, and fulfillment, then this message is for you. Over the next chapters, we're going to break the old belief that says hard work is enough. We'll replace it with a smarter truth. That direction is stronger than effort, clarity is stronger than chaos, and energy is stronger than hours. This is the path of the smart worker, the person who creates results without losing peace, the one who wins, not because they work the most, but because they work with purpose. So take a deep breath. Forget the noise. Let's rebuild your mindset from the ground up. This is not just about success. It's about sustainable success. Success without stress. Progress without pain. Results without burnout. Welcome to Stop Working Hard, Work Smart. Your transformation begins now. Chapter 1. Work right, not hard. My friend, most people have been taught the wrong definition of success. We were told, work harder than everyone else, never stop grinding, sacrifice your time, your sleep, your peace, because that's what it takes to win. But here's the truth. Hard work without direction is like running full speed in the wrong direction. You might be moving fast, but you're not moving forward. Think about it. What's the point of pushing harder if the path you're on leads nowhere? Too many people wake up early, stay up late, and fill every minute of their day with motion, but no meaning. They confuse activity with progress. They measure their success by how tired they are instead of how close they've come to their goal. Let me tell you this. You don't get paid for how hard you work. You get rewarded for the value you create. And value doesn't come from effort alone. It comes from intelligent effort, directed effort, meaningful effort. You can spend 12 hours a day chasing distractions, or 3 focused hours building something that truly matters. The difference isn't time, it's clarity. So stop trying to do everything. Stop saying yes to every task, every favor, every opportunity that steals your focus. The people who win in life are not the ones who do the most. They're the ones who do what matters most. Ask yourself this question every day. Is this task bringing me closer to my goal or just keeping me busy? If it's just keeping you busy, stop. Redirect your energy. Because every minute spent on meaningless motion is a minute stolen from your purpose. Working right means working with intention. It means you wake up knowing why you're doing what you do. You stop chasing everything and start building something. You can hustle endlessly and stay broke, or you can act strategically and create freedom. You can keep running after everything, or you can focus on the one thing that truly moves your life forward. The world doesn't reward those who do the most. It rewards those who do it best. So today, make a decision. Stop chasing exhaustion. Start chasing effectiveness. Don't measure your worth by how tired you are. Measure it by the results you create, the peace you protect, and the clarity you live with. Because when you work right, you work with focus, you work with direction, and that's when life starts to move. Fast, smooth, and powerfully. Stop running in circles. Stop glorifying burnout. You're not meant to live exhausted. You're meant to live effective. So from this moment on, repeat this to yourself. I don't just work hard. I work right. I move with clarity. I choose progress over pressure because that's what smart work truly is. Chapter 2. Focus on high-value work. Let's be honest, not all work is equal. You can spend 10 hours doing small, shallow tasks that fill your day and end the night exhausted but unsatisfied. Or you can spend 3 hours doing something that truly moves the needle and end the day fulfilled, focused, and one step closer to your dream. See, the truth is this. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they're busy with the wrong things. They waste their time on low-value work. Work that looks important but doesn't actually build their future. Low-value work feels urgent but adds nothing to your life. It's replying to every message the second it comes in. It's checking your phone every 5 minutes. It's spending hours on tasks that make you look productive, but keep you exactly where you are. You end up running faster but getting nowhere. And when days turn into months, and months turn into years, you wake up one day and wonder, why am I still stuck? It's because you confused movement with progress. You confused effort with growth. But smart people think differently. They know that 80% of success comes from 20% of their actions. This is the 80-20 principle, the rule of leverage. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things better than anyone else. Think about it. If you run a business, replying to every small email won't grow your company, but improving your product, connecting with key customers, and sharpening your marketing, that's what changes everything. If you're a student, reading every single page of your textbook isn't what makes you pass. Understanding the key topics, mastering the core principles, that's what helps you win. If you're chasing fitness, working out 10 hours a week without a plan might tire you out. But training smart, eating right, and resting properly, that's what transforms your body. So let me tell you this. Stop filling your day with activity. Fill it with impact. Ask yourself, does this action bring long-term value to my life or just temporary satisfaction? If the answer is temporary, drop it. Your time is too valuable to waste on distractions that don't move you forward. High-value work is the work that builds your future. It might not give instant rewards, but it gives lasting results. It's the skill you develop when no one's watching. It's the habit you stick to when it's not easy. It's the decision to say no to what's urgent and yes to what's important. High-value work often feels harder at first because it demands focus, patience, and consistency. That's why most people avoid it. They choose comfort over growth. But you're not most people. You're here because you want to rise higher. You're ready to shift from busy to brilliant. So choose the few things that truly matter and give them your full attention. Learn, create, build, do the work that shapes your destiny, not just your day. Because in the end, it's not how much you do that defines your success. It's what you choose to do. The difference between struggle and success isn't effort, it's focus. And when you focus on high-value work, you stop chasing everything and start attracting results. That's how real progress happens, not through constant busyness, but through powerful, purposeful focus. So from today, promise yourself this. I will no longer trade my energy for low-value activity. I will invest my time where it truly counts, because the moment you start focusing on high-value work, you stop surviving and start thriving. Chapter 3. Rest is power. In today's world, people wear exhaustion like a medal. They say things like, I barely slept last night. I haven't taken a day off in months, as if fatigue proves dedication. But let me tell you something powerful. Rest is not weakness. Rest is strategy. You can't build success on an empty tank. You can't create greatness from burnout. The people who last, the ones who build real, sustainable success, they know when to go all in, and they know when to step back. Because even the strongest engines need to refuel. Even the sharpest minds need to recharge. Even the greatest athletes need recovery. Think about it. No athlete trains 24 hours a day. They train hard, then they rest harder. They know that recovery is what makes their muscles grow stronger. And the same truth applies to your mind, your focus, and your energy. You can't think clearly when you're exhausted. You can't make smart choices when your mind is clouded. And you can't feel fulfilled when every day feels like survival. So, stop feeling guilty for resting. Stop believing that slowing down means falling behind. Because here's the truth. Rest is part of the work. When you rest, your mind organizes your thoughts. Your creativity resets, your emotions balance, and new ideas begin to bloom. Some of the world's greatest ideas didn't come during chaos. They came in moments of stillness, on a walk, in the shower, during silence. That's because when the mind is calm, clarity appears. You've heard the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. And it's true. When you give without refilling, you run dry. If you want to perform better, you must learn to recover better. If you want to think deeper, you must learn to rest deeper. Rest doesn't mean laziness. Rest means renewal. Take time to walk in nature. Take time to breathe. Read, reflect. Be still. These moments aren't wasted. They are powerful investments in your energy. When you return, you'll return sharper, stronger, and more focused than before. You see, hard work builds momentum, but rest sustains it. Without rest, your fire burns out. With rest, your fire grows stronger. So stop pushing yourself past the point of balance. Your value doesn't come from how much you can endure. It comes from how well you can perform over time. The most successful people in the world don't just manage their time. They manage their energy. They work in cycles, intense focus followed by intentional rest. That rhythm creates consistency, and consistency creates greatness. So from today, remember this. Rest is not the opposite of work. Rest is part of it. When you rest, you're not quitting. You're preparing. You're refilling your tank for the next stretch of the journey. Protect your peace, guard your energy, and never apologize for taking time to breathe, because you can't build a strong life from a tired soul. Rest is not a break from progress. It's the fuel for it. When you rest right, you work right. And when you work right, you win. Not just once, but for life. Chapter 4. Build systems, not stress. Let me ask you something honest. How many times have you promised yourself, this week I'll be more disciplined? You start strong. You feel motivated. You say, this time I'll stay consistent. But a few days later, the motivation fades. You skip one task, then another, and soon the cycle repeats. Frustration, guilt, burnout. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack willpower. It's because you're relying on motivation when you should be relying on systems. Motivation is like a spark. It burns bright, but fades fast. A system is like a fire. It burns steady, day after day. Here's the truth. Systems create success. Without systems, you depend on your emotions. And emotions are unpredictable. You can't build consistency on feelings. You build it on structure. A system is a set of habits, routines, and strategies that carry you forward, even on days when you don't feel like showing up. It's a structure that makes success automatic. Think about it. Instead of hoping you'll wake up early tomorrow, set a bedtime alarm tonight. Instead of trying to remember everything, write it down in a plan. Instead of spending your willpower deciding what to do, build a routine that removes the decision entirely. That's how high performers operate. They don't depend on morning motivation. They depend on their systems. They've built lives that make success inevitable. Because here's what happens when you live without systems. Every day becomes chaos. You wake up uncertain, you react instead of plan, and you waste energy deciding instead of doing. But with systems, your mind becomes free. You don't waste mental energy asking, what should I do next? You already know. Systems protect your focus. They save your energy. And most importantly, they make progress automatic. Let's be clear. Systems don't limit you. They liberate you. When your day is structured, your mind can be creative. When your habits are clear, your spirit can expand. When your process is consistent, your growth becomes unstoppable. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Your systems are the invisible hands that shape your future. So stop saying, I'll try harder. Start saying, I'll build smarter. Don't fight your habits. Design them. Don't chase motivation. Build momentum. Because willpower fades, but systems last. They turn effort into habit, and habits turn struggle into success. Whether you're chasing fitness, building a business, or improving your life, systems will carry you when your motivation disappears. Plan your days. Automate what you can. Create routines that guide you naturally toward your goals. Because when success becomes part of your structure, you don't have to push anymore. You flow. You stop surviving on stress and start thriving on systems. So say it to yourself now. I will stop fighting against myself. I will stop depending on motivation. I will build systems that make success inevitable. Because the truth is simple. Hard work burns out. Smart systems build empires. Build your life in a way that progress becomes the natural result of your daily actions. When you do that, you don't just work. You win. Quietly, consistently, powerfully. That's how greatness is built, not through chaos and stress, but through structure and discipline. Chapter 5. Learn to think, not just do. We live in a world obsessed with doing. Everyone's in a hurry. Everyone's busy. Everyone's rushing from one task to another. But very few people stop to think. We've been trained to move, not to pause, to act, not to reflect, to fill our days with motion, not meaning. But here's the truth most people never realize. You can be busy your whole life and still go nowhere. Because action without direction is chaos. You can run fast, but if you're running in the wrong direction, you only move further from where you truly want to be. The most powerful thing you can ever learn is this. Don't just do more, think better. Thinking gives your actions power. Thinking gives your movement meaning. Thinking turns wasted effort into targeted impact. Most people spend their lives reacting. They jump from one task to another, one crisis to the next. They confuse activity with progress and mistake pressure for purpose. But extraordinary people, they live differently. They take time to think. They step back, analyze, and understand why they're doing what they do. Because 10 minutes of deep thought can save you 10 months of wasted work. Before every action, ask yourself this. What's the smartest, simplest, most effective way to achieve this result? That one question can change everything. You could post 100 random videos and hope one goes viral, or you could spend one day studying what your audience truly needs and create something that connects deeply and grows naturally. You could work endless hours fixing small problems, or you could stop, step back, and fix the system that creates them. You could grind every day at the same job, or you could think strategically about how to create freedom. Smart thinking saves you time, energy, and peace. It's not about working less. It's about working with wisdom. Thinking doesn't mean overthinking. It doesn't mean waiting forever to act. It means pausing with purpose. It means aligning your mind before you move your hands. When you take time to think, you gain perspective. You see the bigger picture. You spot shortcuts others can't see. You avoid mistakes before they happen. That's why the greatest leaders, inventors, and creators spend more time in thought than in motion. They plan, they analyze, they visualize. And when they finally act, they move with power, precision, and peace. Because true intelligence is not in constant activity, it's in clarity. Don't fall into the trap of blind hustle. Don't mistake speed for progress. A ship that sails fast in the wrong direction still ends up lost. So take time to think. Reflect on your goals. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is this the best way? What's the outcome I truly want? When your thinking becomes clear, your actions become unstoppable. You don't need to do more. You need to do right. So from this moment on, commit to sharpening your most powerful tool, your mind. Learn. Reflect. Question your habits. Challenge your assumptions. Because every breakthrough in your life will start with one simple act, a moment of deep thought. So say it to yourself. I will think before I act. I will plan before I move. I will lead my actions with wisdom, not impulse, because when your mind leads, your world follows. When you think clearly, you move confidently. And when you think smart, you work smart. That's how true progress begins. Chapter 6. Energy beats hours. We live in a culture that glorifies long hours. People brag about how late they stayed up. They say, I worked all night, as if exhaustion equals excellence. But let me tell you something truthfully. You are not a machine. You are not designed to run endlessly without rest, without joy, without balance. Your energy, not your hours, determines your success. You can sit at your desk for 10 hours, half focused, half exhausted, half alive, and get almost nothing done. Or you can work for 3 hours, fully energized, deeply focused, and accomplish more than most people do in a day. The difference isn't time. The difference is energy. Because time is limited, but energy is renewable if you know how to protect it. When your energy is high, your creativity flows. Your ideas are sharp. Your confidence rises. You move with clarity and conviction. But when your energy is low, everything feels heavy. Even small tasks feel impossible. You lose focus, patience, and purpose. So the smartest people in the world don't manage time. They manage energy. They protect it. They renew it. They treat it like treasure. Ask yourself, what drains your energy? Who drains your energy? What habits steal your focus and strength every single day? And then, cut them out. You wouldn't let a thief walk into your house and steal your money. So why do you let distractions and negativity steal your energy? Protect your mind. Protect your body. Protect your peace. Because your energy is your currency. Spend it wisely. A night of deep sleep gives you more productivity than 3 extra hours of grinding. A walk outside can recharge you more than scrolling through your phone ever will. A calm mind can achieve more in 1 hour than a stressed one can in 10. Stress is the enemy of energy. Negativity is the poison of potential. That's why you must choose your environment carefully. Surround yourself with people who inspire, not drain. Feed your mind with ideas that uplift, not weaken. Create a space that fuels your focus, not steals it. Your energy is sacred. Treat it like it matters. You see, success isn't about how long you can grind. It's about how well you can recover. If you never recharge, your drive will die. If you never rest, your fire will fade. That's why the best performers in every field, athletes, artists, leaders, all have one thing in common. They respect recovery. They work in cycles. They give everything during their peak hours, then rest intentionally so they can come back stronger. It's not weakness. It's wisdom. Your energy is your power. Without it, even the best strategy falls flat. So take care of yourself. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Exercise, not just for looks, but for clarity. Eat real food, not junk that drains you. Sleep deeply, not sporadically. Meditate, breathe, reflect, because peace is power. And remember this, a calm mind is a productive mind. If you want to go far, you can't sprint forever. You must learn the rhythm of focus and rest, the balance of drive and peace. Because success isn't about working yourself to death. It's about staying alive long enough to enjoy it. So from this moment on, say to yourself, I will guard my energy like treasure. I will not glorify exhaustion. I will create balance, clarity, and power in my life. Because in the end, success doesn't belong to the one who works the longest. It belongs to the one who works with the greatest energy, clarity, and purpose. Remember this truth. Your energy is your real wealth. Protect it, renew it, and the world will feel your power. Chapter 7. Be purpose-driven, not pressure-driven. Let's talk about the why. Because without a why, even the hardest work feels empty. Without purpose, every day feels like survival, like you're running, but you don't even know where you're going, and maybe you felt that way before. You wake up tired, you push yourself through another day, you keep going because you have to. You keep working because you're afraid of what happens if you stop. You work because of pressure, not because of passion. Pressure from bills, pressure from expectations, pressure from fear of failing, fear of falling behind, fear of not being enough. And when pressure is your fuel, burnout is your destination. Because when you work from fear, you might move fast, but you break fast too. Fear drains your energy. It steals your joy. It turns your dreams into duties and your purpose into pain. But there's another way to live, a way that feels lighter, stronger, and more real. It's called purpose. When you work from purpose, you don't wake up with fear, you wake up with fire. You don't have to push yourself every day. Your vision pulls you forward. Purpose gives your struggle meaning. It gives your journey direction. It turns your work into worship. When you have a clear purpose, you don't chase everything. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need to prove your worth. Because you already know what you're building and why. You're not just surviving anymore. You're creating, you're serving, you're living with intention. And when your life is driven by purpose, your energy becomes limitless. Even your hard days make sense because you know what they're leading toward. Purpose makes pain productive. It transforms pressure into progress. It gives every step of your journey meaning. Think about it. The teacher who changes lives isn't just doing a job. The artist who creates beauty isn't just making money. The nurse who heals isn't just earning a paycheck. They're all living their purpose. They're fueled by love, not fear, by vision, not obligation. That's why they can work long hours and still feel alive, because their heart is connected to their hands. That's the difference between pressure and purpose. Pressure burns you out. Purpose builds you up. Pressure makes you run from fear. Purpose makes you rise with faith. So ask yourself right now, why am I doing what I'm doing? If the answer doesn't inspire you, it's time to realign your path. It's okay to pause. It's okay to change direction. It's okay to start again, this time with meaning. Because it's better to climb the right mountain slowly than to reach the wrong peak quickly. When you find your purpose, your days gain weight, your work gains meaning, and your life gains depth. You stop chasing results, and you start creating value. You stop competing, and you start contributing. You stop working to survive, and you start working to serve. That's the shift. That's the transformation. The moment your work comes from love instead of fear, everything changes. So, my friend, from this moment on, stop letting pressure push you. Let purpose guide you. Find the work that gives you life, not the one that takes it away. Because when your work is connected to your heart, you'll never have to force motivation again. You'll move with passion. You'll act with power. You'll live with peace. And that is the real definition of success. Success is not exhaustion, it's evolution. It's not chaos, it's clarity. It's not fear, it's fulfillment. So stop working hard out of pressure. Start working smart out of purpose. Because when you find your why, the how becomes easy. Final words. You don't need to work yourself into the ground to prove your worth. You don't need to be tired to be successful. You just need to work with purpose, focus, balance, and energy. Because the smartest workers don't burn out. They build up. They don't chase everything. They master what matters. They don't work for applause. They work from alignment. So stop running faster. Start walking wiser. Stop trying to do it all. Start doing what counts. Because when you finally stop working hard and start working smart, you won't just achieve success, you'll live it.